welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a video all about perfumes with a lot of violet in, the violet flower. If you're new here, then welcome. We're all about perfumes, so do check out my hundreds of other videos. And if you're a regular and you haven't subscribed, then do hit the subscribe button and show your support. I really appreciate it. And as always, everything I mention I'll link down below for where you can buy these in the UK, Europe, America, Australia. So violets is one of those smells that you probably either love or hate. It's quite a strong smell, but it's not a traditional floral smell. It's not like a rose or a blossomy smell. It's used a lot in makeup. So if you think of a lipstick or an eyeshadow, that powdery smell, that is very similar to what violet smells like, and it's used in perfumes that do have that sort of theme of smelling like makeup. So what inspired this video is actually the new Juliette Has a Gun Lipstick Fever, which I got a sample of to try, and this is a beautiful violet. I actually quite like this one. I don't always like violets. This smells exactly like lipstick. You know, that smell of lipstick when you put it on, like Chanel lipstick, that's what this smells like. I really like it. Juliette Has a Gun, if you don't know them, are a little bit of a niche brand. They're French, independent, so they're not owned by one of the big you know, conglomerates, and they are really well made, and this one I have to say does last really well. It's an Eau de Parfum, and it just feels very feminine and it feels very violet-y. I don't know if these are a UK sweet or if they are everywhere, but Parma violets, those sweets that are little and they're purple, that's kind of like what a violet smells like. So if you know that smell, it's kind of like that. But this has a soft powderiness to it. It's not got that sharpness which some violet perfumes have. So really recommend this, and I just did a video on it and all the others in the Juliette Has a Gun range, so check it out if you're curious. But yeah, really loving Lipstick Fever. And then another one that has a lot of violets in is the Glossier U perfume. This is more powdery than Lipstick Fever, but again it has that sort of makeup smell. It smells like makeup, and of course Glossier is a makeup brand. This is their first and only perfume, and this is more like your powdery, think of an eyeshadow palette, like the smell of the eyeshadow. That's what this smells like. It's very feminine. And again, I found this quite good for lasting. It's very soft and skin-like around you, and yeah, I like the bottle as well. It's quite different. So yeah, another one that's perhaps a little bit unusual, not everyone will have, but a nice violet. For a violet one that you probably don't realise is a violet one is Marc Jacobs Daisy. Now this perfume always annoys me because it actually has no daisy notes in whatsoever, and it should be called Marc Jacobs Violet because violet is the main note here, but this is a very light, fresh violet. It's not like the others I've talked about. It's even the Eau de Parfum, to me, doesn't have very great projection or lasting power. It's very light, innocent, young, but it is a violet perfume, so it has that kind of makeup-y smell to it. I know this is super popular, and I know it is very pretty. I suspect the popularity is more due to the bottle than it is the actual smell, but if you're looking for something with violet in but very light, then this is your best option for light violets. So up until a few years ago when these had come out, this sort of go-to violet perfume was Guerlain's Insolence, spelled sort of insolence. This is your sort of famous original violet perfume. It's been out for a long time, and there's a Eau de Parfum, Eau de Toilette, there's some flankers as well. Now this is that sharp Parma violet. This is the extreme violet smell, heavy, strong violet. It has iris in and it has tonka beans in, so those make this quite strong. The iris as well, like it becomes very powdery. It's quite heavy. The Eau de Toilette is less heavy but quite good for lasting considering it's an Eau de Toilette. And then I think there's a blossom version which is much more flowery and simple. But yeah, if you just want the strongest, most intense Parma violet smell you can find, then Guerlain Insolence is the way to go. It's really strong. Another perfume basically dedicated to violets is from Annick Goutal, and it's literally called La Violette. So this one is basically like a pure violet smell. It has some rose in there and that's it. So it's just all flowers, there's nothing else going on. Very, very violety. Again, you have to really like violets to like this, but Annie Goutel is again a bit niche, something a bit different, and they rebranded about a year or so ago, so the bottles now are really classic but really sort of beautiful glass French traditional style bottles. It's a nice brand, and yeah, a bit different, but that very classic flowery violet. So you may remember that Paco Rabanne had a perfume called Ultraviolet. I think this is now discontinued. This was a really interesting one. I personally didn't like it. It was a peppery violet, so it had like red peppers in, it had black pepper in. The main note was violet, but it was like in your face sharp peppery violet. It had coriander in as well, another sharp note. It had some almond in. It was very different. There's nothing else really like it, and you can still buy this. I'll leave the links below where it's still available, usually at quite good prices, particularly in the UK, but I think it's discontinued. But yeah, this is almost moving towards a unisex smell, I'd say. Like that, it's a violet, which is a flower, but then it's got all these sharp sort of yeah, bold notes in. Victoria's Secret have their Angel Eau de Parfum, which is a makeup-y, violet-y smell. This is sort of powdery backstage at the Victoria's Secret show with all the makeup going on. This is that kind of smell, so it's a bit sweeter than the others I've mentioned. It has a little bit of some fruity notes in there, but a classic from Victoria's Secret, of course. The Lolita Lempicka original perfume comes in this violet-coloured bottle. This has recently been reformulated and put in a new bottle, but it is supposed to be the same smell. I'm not sure if it is, but this is a very heavy violet, but it's kind of like an ivy, slightly green kind of violet. It has ivy leaves on it, and it really reminds me of like that smell of ivy in the woods, kind of the kind of perfume a fairy would wear maybe, and it comes in this cute like apple shape. Again, it's a little bit niche, not sold everywhere, but it is an iconic perfume. It's been around for decades, and it does have a sort of loyal fan base, but it's predominantly violets, and it's quite heavy. It's just a little bit more green and ivy-like than something like Insolence. For a vanilla-y violet and affordable violet from Zara, there Feels Like Winter perfume. These are refillable, so you get the little handbag spray and then you can buy big bottles, keep refilling it. This is a vanilla and violet, so it's kind of like that warm, powdery, snowy feeling of, you know, the Christmas vanilla, but then the violet as well. These I think are about £5 or something, really good. And then the big refillable bottle is, I don't know, 15 or something, maybe less, so really affordable. I know that Versace in their couture range have a violet one, which is a powdery violet, and it comes in this very Versace style bottle, or purple. But yeah, this is quite heavy but very, very powdery violet. And similarly, Miller Harris have their violet, which is called Violet Ida. This one has a lot of heliotrope in. If anything, it's like 50% heliotrope, 50% iris. Violet, not iris. And then it has some vanilla as well. So this is very like heavy purple perfume. Yeah, not for the faint-hearted, but good quality. These are a British brand, seem to be trying to grow. They put a lot of and all their smells tend to be almost herbal and green and flowers and that type of vibe. So again, something a bit different. And then lastly, from Bottega Veneta, they have a pretty violet with a little bit of powderiness in, but it's a very simple sort of daytime fresh violet, and comes in a very classy bottle, the same as the other ones in the range, but with the purpley pink liquid. So yeah, so basically violets are an interesting smell. They seem to be being used more and more. This sort of idea of perfume smelling kind of like a makeup, it seems to be getting more and more popular, and I think that's quite a cool idea. So it's definitely that type of vibe, and it's a distinctly feminine smell. It's the kind of thing that's associated with female. So yeah, I do quite like them, but definitely Lipstick Fever, my favourite, and the Glossier one as well, and then Insolence from Guerlain is the strongest. So yeah, that's it. Let me know which your favourite is. Do you have any others you'd add to the list? Let me know down below in the comments. But that's it, guys. So thanks so much for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!